So you're browsing a forum and you see it. Hypervisor crack, 0-day Denuvo bypass, 100% working. And your brain goes, wait, is this actually it? Is this the one that finally works? Before you click that download button, stop. Because what most people don't realize is that this isn't just a cracked game. This is potentially handing the keys to your entire PC to someone you will never meet. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how bad it can get. Welcome to X Zone, where we break down tech and cybersecurity into things actual humans can understand. If that sounds like your kind of channel, smash subscribe and let's get into it. Alright, first things first. What even is a hypervisor? Most software on your PC runs on top of Windows. Your games, your browser, even your antivirus, they all live inside Windows, playing by Windows rules. A hypervisor is different. It sits underneath Windows. Think of it like a ghost controller, an invisible layer between your actual hardware and the operating system, quietly deciding what Windows is allowed to see and do. Hypervisors are a real, legitimate technology. Virtual machines, cloud servers, enterprise security tools, they all use hypervisor tech legitimately. Intel and AMD actually build support for it directly into your CPU. So this isn't some fringe hacker invention. It's real, powerful, and very low level. And that last part, very low level, is where things get interesting. Now, I want to be completely upfront here. This next section is a conceptual explanation only. X Zone does not endorse piracy, and this is not a guide. We're talking about this because understanding how something works is how you understand why it's dangerous. Okay? Cool. Moving on. Traditional game cracks work by modifying the game files themselves, patching the executable, removing the DRM checks, that kind of thing. Denuvo, the DRM system you've probably heard about, made that really hard by tying checks deep into the game's code and constantly phoning home to verify things are legitimate. So some people got clever. Instead of fighting Denuvo at the game level, hypervisor-based bypasses try to go under Windows entirely. The idea is, sit below the operating system, intercept the CPU-level instructions that Denuvo uses to check if the environment is legitimate, and fake the responses. Denuvo asks, hey, is everything real? And the hypervisor quietly whispers back, yep, totally real, nothing to see here. Technically, it's kind of wild to think about, but here's the critical question nobody asks. Who wrote that hypervisor layer, and what else is it doing? Because here's the thing, to even run one of these tools, you're typically asked to do a list of things that should make every security-conscious person deeply uncomfortable. First, you enable virtualization in your BIOS. That's actually fine on its own, it's just activating a CPU feature. But then it gets worse. You're usually told to disable Secure Boot. Secure Boot is a firmware-level protection that makes sure only trusted, signed software loads when your PC starts up. Turning it off means that anything, literally anything, can load at startup before Windows even wakes up. Windows won't know, you won't know. Then comes memory integrity, also called virtualization-based security. This is a Windows feature that uses a hypervisor to protect critical system processes from tampering, things like your login credentials being stored in memory. Turn it off, and that protection is gone. Then you're usually told to disable or weaken Windows Defender, sometimes entirely, and to allow unsigned drivers, meaning code that hasn't been verified by Microsoft, to run at the kernel level. Let's be clear about what kernel level means. It's the deepest layer of the operating system. Code running at kernel level can see everything: your keystrokes, your memory, your network traffic, your files. Your antivirus itself runs at a level below kernel in some cases, but a lot of traditional security tools, they can't see what's happening down there. You've just rolled out a red carpet to your entire PC, and you did it willingly because a forum post told you to. Let's talk about what can actually happen to you. Ransomware attacks have been evolving. The latest, nastiest variants don't just encrypt your files, they target the virtualization layer itself, so that even wiping and reinstalling Windows doesn't clean the infection. It's still sitting there, underneath. And while that level of attack has mostly targeted enterprise environments so far, the techniques filter down. They always do. At a more personal level, imagine you run one of these hypervisor crack tools, and somewhere buried in it is a lightweight keylogger running at a level your antivirus can't touch. It sits quietly. You log into Steam, into your bank, into PayPal. You don't notice anything weird for weeks. Then, one day, your Steam account is gone. Your PayPal has a transaction you didn't make, and your PC has been quietly participating in a botnet, helping attack other people's systems while you were gaming. And here's the part that really stings. You reinstall Windows, fresh install, everything clean. But if the infection embedded itself in your firmware or your BIOS, it can survive that. It can come back, because you gave it access to a level that a Windows reinstall simply doesn't touch. Your accounts, your money, your personal files, your PC's hardware, essentially turned into someone else's tool. That's the realistic worst case, and it's not science fiction. These attack vectors exist, they're documented, and they're getting more common. Alright, I don't want to leave you feeling stuck, so let's talk about real options, because there are genuinely good ones. Steam sales are legendary at this point. Major titles hit 50 to 90% off regularly. If you're not in a region with great pricing, tools like SteamDB can help you see historic low prices, so you know when to pull the trigger. Xbox Game Pass and similar subscription services give you a massive library for a monthly fee that's often less than a single game. There are hundreds of genuinely great free-to-play games that won't cost you a cent to start. And older titles from 5, 6, 7 years ago, games that are absolutely worth your time, are often just a few dollars. Supporting developers you actually like means more games from those developers get made. It's a cycle that works out for everyone. So here's the bottom line, and I want this to land. A hypervisor game crack is not a free game. It's a potential full system compromise. Your accounts, your money, your privacy handed to someone anonymous in exchange for skipping a payment. The risk-to-reward ratio is genuinely terrible once you understand what you're actually doing to your system. I want to hear from you. Have you come across hypervisor cracks before? What's your take on where PC gaming security is heading? Drop it in the comments below. Just keep it civil and obviously no sharing links. If this video opened your eyes to something you hadn't thought about before, hit the like button. It seriously helps the channel. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown from Xzone. Stay sharp, stay skeptical, and I'll see you in the next one.